Well, good afternoon. Happy Friday Eve. Happy TGIF. Happy TGIF, everyone. Okay, so I am going to do a mukbang story time. Okay, so first of all, I'm sorry. Happy TGIF, everybody. Um, First of all, let me get it all set up here. Okay, um, so first of all, I need my sun kissed. All right, I need my sun kissed orange drink. And you guys saw a picture of my thing food, right? So this I got from a chicken place, a local chicken place, and this fish is to die for. Okay, so I'm gonna show you what I got. I got fish, mashed potatoes, corn, and then I had to have a lemon pound cake. Okay, and again, let me pour my orange drink. So the my story time is going to be first of all, again, hope everybody's doing well. You know, um, in spite of coronavirus, corona. So this story is, as you can tell from the title, he did a full 360-degree turn while in it. Yes, yes, he did. I didn't know it was coming. So listen, here's the disclaimer. You know it's time for us to what? Snap, snap. Everybody says snap, snap. Let's chop, chop it up. And you know what you need to do to snap, snap? You need to basically like, comment, share, subscribe. Please subscribe. Now let's get on with our story. If there's any little children, anyone under 18 years old, please escape the room, leave, and less time for adult talk time. Okay, so this story was, first of all, this was someone who I met. This happened years and years ago. Okay, it happened years and years ago. He was older, obviously, right? Anytime he did a full 360-degree turn, and he did this before I even knew it. Okay, I didn't even know what was going on. Okay. He was a nice guy. He was older gentleman. He was settled, career oriented. Actually, he was a business owner. Um, he was in the construction line of work, and we will call him. Excuse me, sorry, trying to get my tartar sauce, guys. I need my tartar sauce from the fish because this fish is delicious. Anyway, we will call him Andrew. All right, Andrew. Okay, so he had his own business, and when I first met him, I was actually coming from the store. He was in his truck. He passed by, drove by, and I could tell he was flirting. And you know me, I'm like, okay, people flirting all the time, and that don't mean no good because then I saw, when he spoke, he had a wedding ring on. I thought it was a wedding ring, so I thought. And so when he pulled back around, he was trying to and I'm like, is that a wedding ring? He was like, no, and it really wasn't. So what it was this band. It wasn't a band. It was a little rubber, but it looked it so from the distance like it was a wedding ring, but it wasn't. Anyway, so he just said that he introduced himself, told me who he was. He say he was not full African American. He was not. So he had a little Latino spice. He was really, really, really nice, and I tend to take to older, mature guys anyway, right? Okay, so he wanted my number. I gave him my number, and I was like, okay, fine. So as I got to talking with him, he was just one of these guys who he wanted to let you know he was like into you. He would call, he would text in the mornings on his way to work or just whatever. Gave the attention. Now, let's just see where it goes. I mean, he called me in the morning time. He was always at work at that time before I had to be at work at the particular place I was working at. I didn't have to be at work that early. So he always wanted some morning loving. So he texted me one morning, "What you doing?" I said, "I'm just getting ready for work." He's like, "What kind of stop by?" And I'm like, "Okay, this is just gonna be a normal, stop by. Fine." He got there, and every time he loved to touch, he loved to feel, he loved to caress, and this man was like, on fire, always just hot, just always bothered sexually. Now that didn't bother me. I'm just saying he was always bothered. So anyway, he came over, and this particular, we were having sex all throughout my place, right? And this particular morning, he wanted to be in the bedroom, and he would always like when he was there, he would always ask me, say, "Wait, have you ever tried this, or have you ever tried?" I'm like, I haven't, but I'll try it with you. But what we were doing our thing. All right, we were doing our thing. All right, so and it's so I was laying down, right? And actually I was let me set it up for you, all right? So we was in my bedroom, right? We was in the king size bedroom, and he told me, he said, "I want you to turn over on your stomach." And I was like, "Okay." So I turned over my stomach, right? And I laid down, and he says, "Wait. You gotta be in a certain position." I'm like, "Oh, okay." He says, "Well, I don't need you to just toot your booty up all the way." He says, "But I need you to just elevate it a little bit." So, I said, "Okay, well," and he says, "I want your head down on the pillow, but, put a little arch in the back, just a little arch in the back." And then he said, "Just toot your butt up just a little bit." I tooted it up just a little bit. And I'm like, "Okay." So he wanted to from the back. So he came in from the back, and when I tell you he came in and he was just real slow with it, because I was like, wait. And then when he went in, right, and he was he had this demeanor about himself. He just took control, just took over, right? And so when he was, hitting it from the back, and I'm talking about just knocking. And he was just into it. I mean, and he was there, just like that. I mean, and I'm just like, oh my god, but it felt so good. And so he had these gyrations and these movements with it. So, and he would just like, oh my gosh, he had the nicest body. He had a really nice physique. He was built for his to be older, but he worked out. You could tell he took care of himself. And all of a sudden, I'm like, so he said, "All right, look, just lay down." So he told me just lay flat. And next thing I know, it was like whoosh. He did just a turn inside. Just whoo, gave me chills. Gave me chills. I mean, he went on, and then he said, "See you like that?" I said, and he did it again, and I was like, whoo. I mean, it was like, first of all, when he did it the first time, I'm like, here, like, because it was like, and he, like, and then he did it again, so he did it three times, and I was just like, oh my gosh! And from that point, you couldn't tell. He wanted a relationship eventually. I, mm, it was something about his sex drive, that was just too much for me to have like that relationship with him. I know I'm probably gonna get some negative remarks. I mean, it's nice, but when you're dating someone like that, they really expect you to come through. Okay, to be there and to come through. And I didn't think that I could really satisfy him like that because I mean, my professional career was important, you know, work. So I didn't want to mislead him like that. I enjoyed the time and when we would play because I mean that's what it was. But we were real good friends. You know, we would talk. I mean, when his he was actually, you know, we talked about his kids when he went to school, college. So we had a really good relationship. You know, friendship benefits right on the pod. But when he went up in it, did that 360 degree, I know you're in love when you're in love. Mm, there was a time when I probably was. Seriously, I probably was. But it was crazy because I was, but it wasn't like what you call that crazy love. Mm-mm. It wasn't that. I was really fond of him. He was older. He was mature. Um, he was professional. He didn't bother me. He gave me attention. I mean, he really gave me attention. Um, to this day, he's not married. His oldest child has finished college, and she actually finished, or is finishing, in the coming weeks. And she's not sure what she wants to do. She wants to actually move. Well, he's very protective of his daughters. He only has two and stuff. But have you guys ever had that situation, that experience where 360 return while he was in it? Make comments, subscribe, let me know. I would love to hear from you guys. Well, I'm going to finish. I know that was a short story time, but that one, I definitely wanted to go off on track. Mm. It's fish is this. Okay, so I know I'm supposed to tell you where I got the fish from, so it's time. Again, so this particular chicken place, um, is Lisa's chicken. Mm-hmm. No, this is Chinese people. Okay, Chinese people. They always have a line. They really do. It's ridiculous, but it's really good. All right, please comment, subscribe, like, share. And I'm going to finish eating until we meet again. Toodles, everyone. Smooches.